Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'm in a little bit of pain. I was putting my son to bed earlier, and he decided to crawl on. We were reading books to him, right? So I'm on one side of the bed, Nisha's on the other side of the bed, he's in the middle, and I kind of like go on my left side to like face the middle, right? And I'm reading this book, and he's getting really sleepy, right? He's rubbing his eyes, and which he often does, goes over to Nish and lays on her chest and like, Mama. And he kicks his feet over to me, which is totally normal, actually. So I'm like, not thinking about it, not being in any pain, and I'm not thinking about it because it's like I'm in this weird healing process because I got surgery last week on my shoulder. I had a mass removed from my collarbone that had been there for a while, and it went fine. I have a bunch of stitches along right here. I still have like bandages, so I wasn't thinking about it. And then he just brings up his leg up in the air and just kicks the spot, like kicks my stitches, and it was just like, oh, I can't be mad at him. You can't be mad at the kid for kicking you. I mean, I guess, you shouldn't kick, but like, I don't care that he kicks me because whenever we wrestle or whatever, he's like, we're playing, I always say, only me, no one else. But he did. He got me with the axe kick. Yeah, it hurts. Ashley, how you doing? Good to see you. Ryan Hinnard, hello. King Deplorables, good to see you, man. How's your life coming along, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Hey, Connor, how you doing? Cello the Sea, you must be quite pregnant now, aren't you? It's good to see you. Believe in yourself. Hello, welcome. Welcome. Neil Floyd, hello there. The snow is finally melting, ladies and gentlemen. The snow has been, and my river has been frozen for about a month and a half now. It has been dark. It has been cold. And it's finally warming up, and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'm just going to do a solo show today. I hope you don't mind. I heard Garrett couldn't make it, and I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live for a little bit. Talk about a few things. First thing I want to talk about is this Tourette syndrome guy yelling the N-word. Did you guys hear about this? It was the BAFTAs. I don't even know what a BAFTA is. This is from People magazine. Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo on stage at the BAFTAs when Tourette's activist yells N-word. Now, this line here, I feel like is kind of interesting because, hold on, let me put my camera back. Okay, there we go. This line is interesting because it almost makes you think that it's an activist that's out there yelling, because he does have Tourette's, but he is an actual Tourette's activist also. So he's not like, it's not separate. It's not like, anyway, I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. So John Davidson, who has not Down syndrome. I see syndrome and I'm like, must be down. No, sorry. Who has Tourette's syndrome, shouted the racial slur as, you know what? See, this is what I have an issue with this, because to me, anyone can be the N-word. Anyone. doesn't, regardless of race. And I think that that's how we beat this. That's how we beat racism, is that everyone can be considered that. I made a tweet, or I responded to a tweet talking about a guy that stabbed a woman. Now, I didn't know what his race was. And I said, if you are going to stab an innocent person, you might be, and I dropped the hard R on X. I did. And it got hate for racial something. I got, hit, and I had to either delete the post or whatnot. And it's like, I meant that to about literally anyone. I don't care what your race is. If you're white, brown, yellow, black, green, it doesn't matter. If you're going to stab an innocent person, that word's for you. You know what I mean? And it's like, my black friends just replaced the N-word with Neil. But your name's Neil. Neil? So, I think about this, and this is a leftist's wet dream. They are eating this up. This is like one of those things that they love when it happens, because then they can prove racism is still alive and well. And of course, it's a white guy. I'm sure they have a picture of him. There he is on the left. And he literally has Tourette's. Now, I've never actually met somebody with Tourette's, and I've seen there was the Twitch streamer at the Game Award or some sort of an awards who had Tourette's. It was this woman, and I thought she was faking it. It felt so fake. And there were people that were saying that like this same girl didn't have Tourette's before, or, I don't know if it was really trustworthy. But this guy, it turns out, he was being disruptive with his Tourette's the whole time. It's not like he was just totally under control until that moment when he dropped the N-bomb. Let me see if I can find a video. Does anybody have a video? Is there a video floating on X? I feel like I could play the video, right? I think I could play the video. Let me see. Media. I'm going to just... I typed guy yells N-word. Yelled N-word. That'll work, right? Wow, there's... okay, there's... I figured there would have been something along those lines. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just... People are obviously talking about it. No, I'm not going to start reading random posts. It doesn't matter. The two guys were up there, and it wasn't like someone yelled, yeah. It was more like, yeah. That's the vibe, right? And I'll be honest, anytime I've ever seen a black person, I don't instantly think, or I just don't think about the N-word. I feel like that's kind of odd. Now, I don't understand Tourette's. On maybe like the Tourette brain is like, what is the most vulgar thing that I could think of? And they don't think about that, and then they think about it, and then they yell out the most vulgar thing. And I guess to black people, that might be the most like, I don't know. Oh, of course, Dom Lucre posted it. Okay, let me share this. Ryan Hinnard, shout out to Ryan Hinnard, hooking it up. Thank you, buddy. Do you wait? Hold on. Do you guys want to hear it? Do you care enough to want to hear the video? One's in chat. Okay, one's in chat. I've got both chats up. If you actually want to hear it. Two's if you don't care. Nope, no need. Chell doesn't care. Scott said 4. I believe that's a combination of both. Everyone's saying 2. All right, you know what? Forget it. No worries. We don't need to see it. We don't need to give Dom Luke Gray more attention. Okay, Mr. Wrong wants to see it. So what I'm going to do is you can just have the link. You can see it for yourself. There you go. You can click on it and you can click the link. It's already in the Rumble link or Rumble chat if you want to check that out. Thank you, Ryan Hindard. Anyway, the guy made a response. And honestly, it's fitting. He said, so I swear, subject John Davidson, who has Tourette's syndrome, and shouted the N-word at the BAFTAs while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting, speaks out amid the controversy, which it shouldn't even be a controversy. It should be like, oh, the guy has Tourette's. Moving on. It's not like the N-word doesn't exist. It's like, from what I understand about Tourette's, is the mind has absolutely no impulse control. And if the N-word exists in the brain, which it does for basically everyone, the fact that we say the N-word doesn't mean that everyone doesn't know what N-word stands for. We all know the word exists, including someone with Tourette's. And so you can assume someone with Tourette's will scream it out. And it's not even our fault, anyone's fault, that the entire world just equates the N-word to black people, which to me is the problem. It's that they think, oh, it's that all black people are that, so we can't say that. And it's like, that's the problem. We have to break that. Anyway, let's read the response here. I wanted to thank BAFTA and everyone involved in the awards last night for their support and understanding and inviting me to attend the broadcast. Yeah, they brought him in. I appreciated the announcement to the auditorium in advance of the recording, warning everyone that my tics are involuntary and are not a reflection of my personal beliefs. They literally announced it. Hey, we've got someone with Tourette's in the audience. They're going to scream out shit. That's part of what Tourette's are. We're trying to bring awareness. And then they made a big deal out of it. Of course, it's the keyboard warriors and internet Karens that are showing how virtuous they are in defending offended people everywhere. Anyway, I was heartened by the round of applause that followed this announcement and felt welcomed and understood in an environment that would normally be impossible for me. In addition to the announcement by Alan Cumming, the BBC, and BAFTA, I can only add that I am and always have been deeply mortified if anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or to carry any meaning. I have spent my life trying to support and empower the Tourette's community and to teach empathy, kindness, and understanding from those, and I will continue to do so. I chose to leave the auditorium early in the ceremony as I was aware of the distress my tics were causing. See, that right there is really sad, the last bit, because there was actors that were talking about him and what he was doing and the bringing awareness to the Tourette's community. And they wanted to bring him there. So like, essentially what happened now is all the work that they had done has been undone, because now all of a sudden he's racist and there's this like uproar with, I can only assume, people on the left. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen, like, I've seen a lot of posts about this, a bunch of random people that I don't know, but people I do know responding and like calling them out for being stupid. And it tends to be the people that I know that are on the right that are calling the people out for being stupid, claiming this is racist, claiming this and that. And they're like, you're an idiot. It's not. It's Tourette's. And the N-word exists. So someone with Tourette's is just going to scream the most vulgar shit they possibly can. And it's like society's fault that when someone with Tourette's sees a black person, that probably is what they think of. Not that they think that they are that, but it's society. Well, like, okay, what's the most vulgar thing that I can think of when you see a black person? Well, someone with Tourette's, obviously that's where his mind went. Involuntary. I don't think they understand. I don't think they care to understand. I think they just want to be upset and want to prove that racism is still alive and want to prove that black people are still oppressed and all this stuff. That's it. I think it's that simple. They don't actually care that he yelled the N-word. Yep. Really sad. It's really sad that this is where the world's at. Holly Movie Star for 5. Thank you, Holly Movie Star. How you doing? This incident is proof the left has always been full of shit when it comes to inclusivity and all the isms and marginalized people they claim to defend. These are facts. Exactly. Yep. They don't care. They care more about maintaining their victim narrative than anything else, because that's where they perceive their power from. And quite oftentimes their identity, because without it, they're nothing. They're basic bitches. Without their identity, they become the boring, nothing blobs that they are. It's kind of sad. Like, I don't care if you're gay. I don't give a shit. You could be gay, but I mean, don't make it your thing, because that's fucking boring. I would rather you be like me. I'm a skateboarder. I wouldn't say, even if I was gay, I would say I'm a skateboarder, former model, musician. I'm a father. Oh, I guess gay people aren't. Sometimes they're fathers, but that's not really their life trajectory, right? I don't know. Anyway, it's so boring. But like someone with Tourette's, like I could see why that is part of their identity. It's kind of hard to escape that, kind of wear that as a badge. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. You could barely hear it, and it's not offensive. They did not even react. Right. Yeah, they didn't even react. Well, I mean, as they shouldn't have, because they're up on stage, and it's someone with Tourette's. So they did what they should have, which is just continued on like it didn't happen. Period. That's it. I heard, did Jamie Foxx say something stupid about it? N-word being yelled. Let's see. Jamie Foxx responded strongly after a man with Tourette's syndrome yelled the N-word. Let's see. He said, out of all words, you could have said Tourette's makes you say that. Nah, he meant that shit. It's like, he didn't mean it. Shut up, Jamie Foxx. But how do you know? Like, how can you just say that? It's so stupid. I'm so over it. White Lasagna for 5 says, in the aughts and the early 10s, everyone called each other a soft A. It became meaningless until the tards on the internet demanded to still be offended by it. That's a good point. That's true. I mean, I was part of a certain group when I was 19, 18, 17 to 19. I was, I was a bad kid. I dropped out of school, or actually I got kicked out. I ran away from home, and I was living on like couches and garages. I was not in a good place. And yeah, that was just part of the nomenclature. We were just, I don't know. It was just kind of how you spoke. I call those my Newport days. Those were my Newport days. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I'm glad I don't. Ryan Hindard, for one, says, I'm more offended by people threatening physical harm over speech that wasn't directed at them than I am by the speech, even if it was intentional. Right. And it certainly wasn't. It's crazy because they were even warned, like, hey, this guy's got a lot of tics. His Tourette's is going to have him scream out stuff. And the way it works is the most offensive thing, like the brain will say that It's like, well, all right. Benjamin Jansen celebrating 57 months. That is a long time. Thank you, sir. That's for you, sir. Thank you so much. Says, yeah, they don't care. Remember, they will call a black person every slur in the book if they aren't in their cult. Yeah, I mean, these are the same types of people that get offended about orcs being in Lord of the Rings. And it's like, why? They're orcs. They're elves that have been twisted by magic. And what do you mean? Like, why would wait? Oh, you're calling them black people. You're saying that orcs are black people. See, like, they don't even realize that they're being racist. You know, they're incapable of understanding that it's actually racist to do that. I mean, just yesterday, I saw this post from Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, is posting this or like saying all these things as if I don't know. He's trying to be one, like, hello, fellow black people. Let me just, I have to show you guys this clip. If you haven't seen this, you'll be interested to see. He basically pulled the Biden, if you're not going to vote for me, or if you're not sure whether you're going to vote for me, then you ain't black. Super racist, you know, or like, unlike the black, what did he say? Unlike the black community, Hispanics are full of culture. Or what is the exact quote? I think I butchered that, but that's another one of Biden's. I can't believe Biden was president. Jeez, I forget about it. We don't hear about Biden anymore, but like, man, still super corrupt. Still something we should do something about. I mean, that man should probably be in prison. Anyway. All right, let me see. Let me pull this up. Okay, here.
Press upon you. I'm like you.
Okay, hold on. I'm hearing double.
I'm no better than you. You know.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not. You know, I'm not trying to impress you.
I'm not trying to impress you. Yes, you are. You're trying to convince them that you're someone worth voting for. That's politician 101. Yeah, that is literally what he's trying to do.
I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm
just trying to impress upon you that I'm like you. That's literally saying you are trying to. That is. He went from, I'm not trying to impress you, I'm trying to impress upon you that I'm just like you.
You. I'm no better than you.
I'm no better than you. Now, guess what?
You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
I'm a 960 SAT guy. Wait, is 960 a good score on the SATs? I have no idea. I don't remember. 960 is below the national average, and it'll put you in the 35th to 43rd percentile. So that's less than half. It's not very good. Okay. National average is 1060. Gee, okay. So he's sitting there saying, I'm just like you. I'm below average of intelligence. I mean, how else would you not be offended? Like, is there any black people in the crowd? Is this not offensive? I just, it's wild that they say this, and this guy doesn't immediately say that is so offensive. Are you insinuating that black people are below average intelligence? Because that's what you just said. I'm just like you. I have a below average SAT score. Like, that's how he proves that he's just like the black community. That's the example he chose. So that's what, how else can you perceive that?
And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940.
look, if you got less than me, I'm not trying to impress you, but you stupid. All right.
But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is so much more offensive than a guy with Tourette's like tweaking the N-word out when someone is on stage. After tweaking the entire time, spitting out stuff the entire time, spits out something. He's Biden 2.0, 100%. Equally corrupt. Dude's completely corrupt. He's got California wrapped about, I was going to say something dirty, but we'll say wrapped around his finger. Anyway.
Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Maybe the wrong business to be in. He's admitting he's stupid. Gavin Newsom is admitting he's stupid, and in the same breath is saying he's just like black people because he's stupid. I mean, it's wild that you actually hear these things. You know what? Look at the interviewer's face. That guy is screaming in his head, did this motherfucker just say that to me? Is this guy actually insinuating? He's sitting on like a 1300 SAT score. I don't know what max is. I think it's like 1600 or something, right? So this dude's probably smart. You know, he's probably sitting there like, what? Are you calling me an idiot? That's the look he's getting. That's clearly what the look is. This is almost a meme. This picture right here. Like, hold on. Let me snap this photo. Okay, wait. Oh, here's a funny meme. And then just yelled the N-word several times. I used to follow this guy, but yeah, there's so many people that I had to unfollow because I just post so much, I don't know, gunk. New meme format. This look, it's such a slimy politician and someone knowing that they're being pandered to. Not only pandered to, like that's not even what he was doing. It was like an attempted pandering, but it was just an insult. Because I bet his SAT score is better than a 960. And if it is just 960, what the hell is he a freaking governor for? Governors are basically presidents of their state. You know, they each state has its own governor. There's 50 presidents of each state. That's basically what a governor is. You know, it's like, and he's running California to the ground. He basically said, hey, I am dumb AF just like you blacks. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? You're right. 100%. It's wild. This is the energy that the Democrats are freaking putting out there. And they've been doing it for freaking probably decades. What was Hillary Clinton's with the hot sauce? It's how long ago was that? Was that in 2015 when she was running for president? He should say shit. Adam, you are assuming politicians are smart. That's a good point. That is true. That is true. Just because you're super corrupt doesn't mean you're smart and in a position of power. But I guess it's just that I would like them to be smart. I don't know. I think they're evil. I think people who are evil sometimes are smart. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just stupid. Case in point, Clinks Gaming brought in a great example. AOC changing her accent depending on the crowd. Thank you very much. Did you see her at the was she at the UN, or I don't remember what she was, some sort of international summit meeting where they put her on the spot for a question. She goes, I think it's the thing and the place, very important. I you know what I mean? I think they should just run John Fetterman. No, John Fetterman is probably the best of the Democrats. He's I feel like he had that brain. Did he have a stroke? Is that what it was? I feel like John Fetterman had a stroke and suddenly was able to comprehend logic and started calling out Democrats on stupid shit. It's actually kind of refreshing. But they're never ever gonna run John Fetterman because he is essentially a loose cannon to the Democrats because he's going and saying what Fetterman is the most insidious. Hold on. Explain yourself, King. Explain yourself. All right, I want to know what you're talking about. Yeah, I need more from you from that. Holly Movie Star for 2 says we need a mashup of all these racist clips. This is true. This is true. Probably activated some part of his brain that wasn't working before. I mean, or maybe his wife seemed to like want to control his life, and it felt like how do I describe it? It was like he had that stroke, and it felt like he just suddenly was like, I'm done with your shit. All right, Giselle, I think her name is Giselle, right? Fetterman. Okay. Because it's clear he'll say anything to win approval, even if it means going against his own party. But he's not getting approval of the people that voted him in. The things that he was saying goes against like his constituents. Right? So that doesn't make sense. It's like just because like the majority of America voted for Trump and we have a red government at the moment, you would think, if you can believe that, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But we all know as soon as he gets that edge up and power, he'll cave to his party. I guess that just remains to be seen. Purple at best. Yeah, I mean, he's still a Democrat. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if that makes him the most insidious. I think you basically then described every politician afterwards. Like politicians will say whatever they think in order to get elected, including like insulting your audience. Like, I don't understand Gavin Newsom. I think he lost his the recall in 2021. Was it 21 or 22? I can't believe he's still governor. I just think it's wild. And they're definitely going to run him for president because, like, who else do the Democrats have? Kamala? Seriously? You think they're going to run Kamala Harris again? Probably. She's not that old. Was she in her 60s? Hold on. How old is Kamala Harris? I actually don't know. Yeah, his recall. I can't believe it. Kamala's out. 61. You think Kamala's out, Leon? Or Ian? Michelle Obama? You think Michelle Obama's going to run? I mean, she's got absolutely no political history at all. Neither did Trump, actually, but that recall was wild. Dude, there's no way that he lost, that he won that recall election. There's no way. They had the mail-in voting. We have oh my gosh. What's the guy who exposed the fraud, the Somali fraud in Minnesota? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. It's late for me. It's 1 a.m. He just went to California though, and has been exposing there was like a dog that voted. Dead people have been voting. Nick Sorter. No, not Nick Sorter. That's another one. Nick Shirley. Thank you. Yeah, Nick Shirley. I actually want to get one of his hoodies. I think they're pretty dope. Just can't do it right at the moment. No, Nick Sorter is another journalist who's also really good, actually. I really like both of those gentlemen. Yeah, Nick Shirley. Yeah. He was awesome. He's been putting in work 100%. Yeah. I mean, exposing it. And like these leftists are like, the dog was registered Republican. And it's like, so I don't want dogs being able to vote. There's clearly something wrong with the voting system. If a dog voted, what the fuck? What do you mean? Who cares? It's like the people think that people on the right don't want the Epstein files to be released, which is ridiculous because they're the ones who have been talking about it forever. A lot of libertarians that I know have been more in the forefront of that, or that they would prefer, they think the people on the right want to not have it out because the politicians on the right might be on the list. It's like, no. Every single person that I know, every single one says anyone who was victimizing those people, those kids on that island should be drawn and quartered. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but it doesn't matter. Left, right, wherever. If you were on that island, if you were doing those disgusting things, we want you prosecuted and justice to be done. Whether that be from a rope on the wall with a millstone in the middle of the ocean, like that's what those people deserve. Period. You want the drawing and quartering? Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Me, Darth Call, and other base people are in the California deep. Oh, Connor, you're in Cali too? Oof. Now we're talking. Hey, Captain Ridiculous Awesome Sauce. Hello, sir. Just dropping a tenner. This is over there working. Thanks, buddy. Mr. Squiggle celebrating 66 months. Wow. Just says nerds. That's a long time. 66 months. That's amazing. Put them in the wood chipper. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I think that would be over too fast. You know? Like they would probably pass out from the pain. I think a millstone into shallow waters that has been chummed for sharks. That's what I think. I think that's the best case. Because then they're drowning or getting eaten by sharks. Or drowning then getting eaten by sharks. Feet first. Yeah. And then like maybe they could just barely get a breath in, you know, would be expensive. Well, we'd reuse them because the sharks would then eat the bodies, and then you could just, and it's shallow, so easy to just grab the millstones, you know, or not even millstones. Maybe we just have like an elaborate chain system that just pulls them down just below the surface of the water, so they can just barely, if they fight, they can get a breath. They don't go for the kill right away. They'll bite and test them and then eat it. I know. I'm well aware, Mr. Squiggles. Reusable. See what I mean? Then you can have like a spot. Actually, this is perfect because then you go to the areas that have like shark attacks, and then you can pull the sharks. They're like, the sharks know that actually there's going to be food all the way over there, so there's no need to go to the beach. Although I don't know if we should be giving sharks like the taste for human flesh. You know, that might backfire. Piranha pools. Piranha pools, like a giant, like, you know, when you go to the Bahamas, right? Go to the Bahamas and there's that slide where you go through the shark tank. Pretty cool. One of those with piranhas. There we go. An electric eel. I mean, how does that even work? How would the electric eels even? I don't know. How can we get energy out of this though? Like, can we use it for energy? I don't know. Damn, Adam. What? I think people that are willing to do that to children don't deserve to live. Period. Yeah. I think the Western countries have been being corrupted by all different avenues, and this is one of those things that I think we need to make it public. You know, like bring back public executions. This is what happens if you do that to children, period. Now, obviously, it needs to be going through the justice system, which might need a revamp in itself, but, you know, innocent until proven guilty. But if, like, man, if you're guilty and we find you're guilty, no mercy. Period. Yep. That's how I feel about it. You know, I have a friend. It was one of my friends in high school. I've told the story many times. He broke up with a girl and she claimed he raped her. And he went to prison for 2 years. And he got out because she finally admitted that he didn't. And she was just upset. She didn't go to jail. She didn't get anything, there's no crime. There was no crime on her end, which she should at least get 2 years because he served 2 years. But she should get, people who do that need to get the full amount of what the claim would be. Insane. Well, though, I mean, she probably would never have admitted to it, though. And said, like, that's the weird part, right? Like, why would she ever admit if he was already in prison? And if she admitted, she would be thrown in prison. Double the charge? Yeah. I mean, it's not even a slap on the wrist. It's insane. But like that kind of system exists right now, and it's insane. The fact that could happen to you, like, that's wild. Why am I out of focus? There we go. On me, camera. What the hell? Anyway, did you guys hear that video games are good for your brain? Have you heard about this? Yeah. This is actually not even a new study, but the Washington Post just put out a new version of it. And I don't pay for the Washington Post, and I won't, so I only have a very little amount of this. But I do have the original study from the NIH. Video games show potential in improving key aspects of memory in older adults. Yeah. Video games are good. Ha ha ha. Already knew that? Well, not everyone did, Mr. Squiggles. All right. Being exposed to an environment filled with novel stimuli can benefit cognition, including memory. That's right. Yeah, it's good for your soul. Studies have shown that rodents placed in enriched environments compared to sparse environments experience increased generation of nerve cells in brain regions that are critical for memory and encoding and retrieval. Humans may also experience similar neurological benefits from novel environments. However, this exposure can be hindered by those who remain indoors, potentially due to viral pandemics or mobile impairments. Viral pandemics. Well, wouldn't you want to stay inside? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe get some sunshine, right? Because it's good for the soul. The good news is that the novel environments can be delivered virtually to the homebound, according to the NIA-supported researchers who recently discovered that video games may be used to enhance cognitive health in older adults. These findings were recently published in the behavioral brain research. For this study, individuals 60 to 80 of age were recruited. The researchers hypothesized that the novel and three-dimensional environments of Super Mario, dope that they use Super Mario, would confer more cognitive benefits upon individuals than those conferred by the familiar two-dimensional game, i.e. solitaire. Although, let's be real, a nice solitaire game every so often, it's kind of nice. Kind of like a Minesweeper game. I like Minesweeper. All right? I do. I'm a fan of Minesweeper. All right? Anyway, who knows Minesweeper? I feel like I stumble upon a lot of people that actually don't understand Minesweeper. One's in chat if you're a Minesweeper savant. Or at least just have beaten a game of Minesweeper. Speed run Minesweeper. I mean, the first 5 seconds is speed running. You know, you know what I mean? You click until you get a boop, and then you go from there. You know, and if you hit a mine, whatever, refresh. Boop, 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 boop. All right, there's my starting point. All right, a lot of freaking Minesweeper chads in chat right now. I love it. You've beaten the game anyway. That's all that counts. My mom's in chat. How you doing, Mom? Love you. Puzzles and challenging situations ward off Alzheimer's. Exactly. 100%. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Let's see here. Despite being two-dimensional in nature, Angry Birds gameplay was also poised to confer cognitive benefits due to its novelty for this older population. Well, I mean, you're adjusting and calculating trajectory, right? And then each bird has a different type of flight pattern, so you're doing a different type of calculation per different color bird. I mean, that makes total sense to me, that you're triggering different parts of the brain and calculating these if you're good anyway. If you don't just spam the birds, I would assume someone who's playing in their 70s is actually like trying to, beat the game. I'd like to think that anyway. Let's see here. Study participants in each of these 3 video game conditions played 30 to 45 minutes per day for 4 weeks. During this time and 4 weeks until or after daily gameplay ended, researchers conducted a series of memory tests. While memory performance was equivalent across groups prior to engaging in video game play, 2 weeks of Angry Birds or Mario Kart gameplay resulted in improved recognition memory. Memory continued to improve after an additional 2 weeks for the Super Mario players compared to the solitaire players, and these improvements persisted after daily gameplay ended. No additional memory improvements were found in Angry Birds players. Super Mario wins the better game for your brain. Who would have thought? Angry Birds versus Super, and this is a 3D environment, Super Mario. So like a Super Mario World, no, 64, Super Mario World was not 3D, but like I'm assuming that's the one where you're like actually in the 3D environment. The first one is 64, right? And there's been more. Galaxy was that 3D. I am not an expert at the Mario games, so I don't know which one they would have played, but they did say 3D. These findings suggest that both novel experiences and exposure to rich three-dimensional environments may work together to improve cognition. Interventions for improving cognition are particularly important for older individuals because they are at risk for cognitive decline. Oh man, I'm gonna be good until I die because I'm a gamer. You know, I'll be freaking tip top brain shape. You know. In addition, video game interventions may be beneficial for individuals at any age, and particularly those who are homebound, thus unable to experience a wide variety of new environments. Although video games may not be an ideal substitute for real-world experiences, they may serve as an additional and entertaining method to improve cognitive health. Yeah, I mean, if I were suddenly to like lose my legs, I mean, knock on wood that I don't ever, because that would suck. You know, I would play a lot more video games, you know, probably just be a video game streamer. The Krigler knows not of KSP. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. KSB would be better. Is that this Kerbal Space Program? Did I get that game? Did I think I got that game and I never actually tried it. I have to check. Hold on, let me check my Steam. Did I get that game? Kerbal. No, I didn't get it. Why do I think I did? I think I saw it on sale and I didn't get it. I think that's what happened. Kerbal Space Program. I hear it's good. I never played it, but I hear it's a good game. They want you watching, not doing. Ooh. It's a good point. But I mean, I do think that there is some credence to this. You know, I think that this does make sense. You should see Lady Gravemaster play on stream. She is good. I believe it. Because because that's one of those games that like it really it's good. Like they really fine tune it, right? I don't know. Seems like a decent game. Anyway, that's cool. I really like that. I'm gonna be good because I'm gonna be a gamer till I die for sure. I love games. I've been a gamer since I was 7. The Game Boy came out in 89 or 90, but I think I got it in 91 and I was 7. I was 7 in 91. I got it for my birthday. I think it was my birthday. And my Morphar bought it for me. My mom's dad got me the Game Boy. And I'm pretty sure my parents were pissed. I'm pretty sure they did. They were like, we do not want him to have this. And I was like, this is the best day of my life. I still have that Game Boy. It's at my mom's house. I don't have all my accessories, which I'm kind of sad about. I had the Game Boy case that looked like a big Game Boy with the like Game Boy slots. I had the big magnifying glass with the lights so I could play at night. Awesome. Or in the car. I stole every AA battery in the house for years. Yeah. Love that Game Boy. Yeah. You got a modded Game Boy Advance? That's cool. Yeah. It's cool, the aftermarket scene in the Game Boy universe. Pretty fun. I've had almost every Game Boy. Like there was the little small one, like Game Boy Pocket. I didn't get that one. It was too small for me. Once my mom learned Tetris, I had to hide it from her. What is up with soccer moms loving Tetris? I mean, it is amazing. White Lasagna for 2 says, Pokemon Yellow taught me casinos are a scam. I had Pokemon Blue. I do have Pokemon Yellow now. But Yeah, I liked the first Pokemon. The first Pokemon was awesome. Adam, you should go on Cecil Says Rumble channel. He has a show, Cope Files, that got him banned on YouTube. Yeah, what's up with that? I saw that Cecil got banned on YouTube. That's messed up. Yellow for the win. Yeah, yellow was just blue and red combined, right? I think that's what yellow was, right? And you can use Pikachu as your starting Pokemon, which should have always been the case, right? But it's kind of soccer mom, my mom. It's just a phrase, Brad. You know what I mean? Unless she was, I mean, then I totally called it. Cecil got done dirty. YouTube doing YouTube things. I'll be honest, guys. I can't believe I'm still on YouTube. 13. I've had 13 strikes on my channel total. Cecil is funny. Yeah, he's funny. They had slight variations. Yellow had more Pokemon. Oh, it did. I didn't know it had more. It had more than 150? Interesting. That's cool. You had Virtual Boy? Is that the thing that was red, that like stood up, had like a stand, and you like looked into it? I never played it. I never understood what it was. Was it like VR or like augmented reality? Like what? I never understood what it was. Well, that's cool. Fuck YouTube for life. Yeah, but you should try to come back at least, because we're still going to be streaming on YouTube. You know? Oh, that hurt. That hurt a little bit. So I have a cut from like here to here. It's only 5 stitches, which is nuts. But they're you know, it's he did this row of stitches that stitched the fat together. You know, it's crazy. I have it all on video because I sat there with my phone, because I can't watch. You know, you can't like look down like, hey, doc, because I'd be in his way, right? I had to be like this and get out of his way. So I'm sitting there with my selfie video on, and like you can see that like my chin, but I'm like, I have the entire thing. It was like 45 minutes it took, which isn't very long, but I just sat there and I was just like watching them cut me open and like cut this thing out. It's crazy. I showed the base staff guys my blob that came out. It was gross. You almost cut the tip of your thumb off last week? Damn, that's gnarly. I'm glad you didn't. It's gross. Oh, you should see it. It's freaking gnarly. I know I got to make a new email and try. I don't know if I have to add my number. Oh, yeah. Did your other account have your number linked? Just make an account. I know it sucks, but like whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I did not sleep very good last night, and I know that this is only an hour into the show. But I'm gonna call it here, guys. I love you all so much. Tune in tomorrow night. We convinced Call to join us, so it's gonna be me, Quarter Black Garrett, Flawedzilla, and Darth Call playing No Rest for the Wicked. Very excited to play that with them. It turned out to be a banger of a game, and we'll be playing tomorrow. I don't know how long, probably more than an hour at least, because when we get all together and rolling, it's a lot of fun. So tune in tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun, and check out later. Garrett will probably be live. He had to go pick up. I don't remember what he said. He had to go do. He had to go pick up something, but he's probably still gonna go live. In fact, let me check to see if he has his stream set up. God, YouTube changed everything. How do I do this now? Where do I freaking analytics? No, stream health, stream settings. You know what? I don't know. Just go check them out. I love you guys. I was gonna send you over there, but I will see you tomorrow night. here on this channel, also on my Twitch and Rumble as well. So good stuff. Love you guys, and have a great night. Cheers.